instead of using a type that sub provides, let's create our own type. And for that, we can have this example. I'm going to use the credit card example of this blog, a credit card number. This is how things are processed on the data type. You can have more information if you search for data type and formatting, parsing, and validation. You have it here. Basically, what I want to show you is that to use your own custom data type, you need to create a file that extends the SimpleType. I've created a folder called types, and inside of the folder types, I'm going to have my types. And in this case, I'm creating the credit card number. As you can see, I have it extended and with my namespace, the folder, and the name. I'm grabbing the SimpleType, and these exceptions is for you to throw them in each step. Very simple. They first call the parse value, and the parse value returns a value to the binded model. Then it's validated, that value, and then they format the value, and this format value is going to return the value that is going to appear in the UI, so to the client. I also want to just say that if you put a breakpoint, you can come here. Let's first declare our type. So say that this, instead of a fraction, let's say that come here, it's the credit card number. And let's say it's empty. Let's grab this, put here, and our type now. So our namespace, like I said, our folder and the file credit card number. So now if we come here, as you can see, I have already put breakpoints. So I just want to show you that first what happens is when you write something and take your mouse from the input or press enter even, it first goes to the parse value. The parse value going to get the value that you put on the input, then it goes to the validate value, so it's going to return what you returned here, and then is going to the format value. I want to say that you can use constraints like they show here. So if you put constraints in your bind, you can use this, and on this, as you can see, it returns an object and is going to return the constraints. So yeah, keep that in mind in case you want to use it for yours. Mine is going to be very simple, and I already prepared some stuff. Before I start, I remember that I want to show you that all of these functions come from this class. As you can see, I'm extending this class. You can see more information about the class on the reference, all the functions and what are the parameters and the exceptions. But I guess this is the base template that I would use. So, like I said, I prepared here how I'm going to parse the value. So, in very simple terms, I'm going to ignore everything that is not a digit, and I'm going to pass all the digits. So for you to see, if I put letters, it's going to disappear. If I put letters in the middle of the numbers, it's going to disappear here. So if the user does this, it's going to be all fine. So now in here, the all value is just the numbers I'm receiving. And now I'm going to say that I'm going to, the only validation I'm going to do is to see the length. So if it's empty, I'm going to let it go. So if length equal to 0, I don't care, I return empty, doesn't matter. Doesn't need to return anything actually, this is just the validation. And if it's not 0, then the length needs to be mandatory 16. If it's different than 16, then we want to throw an exceptions. So throw new, and in this case it's the validate exception, and I'm going to just say needs to be 16 digits and save. So now if I put letters, they just are deleted. If I put numbers and they are not 16 numbers, it's going to give the error that I said. If you want a different type of an error in the different functions, you have the different type of exceptions. So let's put 16 to see it working. And as you see, no errors. So now in here, it's how it's going to appear for the user. And like we know, we like to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like this. So let's do it. So first I'm going to have my digits. It's going to be an array. So let's just say that the value to a string and split the string. And then let's loop this array of digits. So the digits and the position of the digit. I'm going to create the variable that is going to be returned. So it's going to be just a simple string. So in here, I'm going to put the digits to the string. All fine. And what now I'm going to do is to add 1. So my calculus are a bit more easy and say that if the position mod 4 is equal to 0 and the position is not 16, if e different than 16, then we want to add a little stick. So let's put this, and now if we pass the s, we should have our number correctly formatted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as you see, it was correctly formatted. And if you want to just change a number here, let's put, for example, 1. As you can see, it continues correctly. And if you accidentally delete this, it's going to format well. And this is how we have our custom type with a validation. One thing that is important now is that this is how you are seeing, and I have here a submit button for us to see what is on the model. So if I press submit, as you can see in the model, we have the number without the sticks, because on the backend we really just want the number and we want 16 numbers.